What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video out here at Castle guys. We are shooting a video on his channel, but I want to shoot one on mine involving these Onyx bikes that we're picking up here at this basically it's a bike only type of a transport service. So it's gonna be absolutely insane. That storm rolling in, so hopefully these things don't get rained on. I'm gonna show you guys the process and what we have to go through to be able to get these bikes. So we got to do a kit check when we're done. I got to know what this kit is that you're wearing.
Me?
What are those? Alright, this thing is insanely fast. And the span back there up to here, over 40 miles per hour. We're going to try to beat this rain, strap them in the back of the truck, try to cover them best we can. We're going to get these back to the castle to try to get a little bit of a session on these things. So I'm going to have to ride this for a little bit before I give you guys a full-on review. But Tim, big shout out to you for buying two of these things. These things are absolutely insane. Yeah, so this thing's an absolute beast. We're gonna try to beat this rain and get ahead of it, but I just want to show you a couple of little accelerating things. Before we go any further, I want to talk about today's video sponsor. This video would not be possible if it was not for Phantom Wallet sponsoring today's video, hence the name. Fans open all your cards. Really durable design. This one's the aluminum one. They also offer it in plastic. All the accessories screw on, as you see there, all these little screw holes. Right now I'm running silicone band. I usually run the money clip because it gives you a lot of color accessories. They also offer a clear plastic front for holding IDs, as well as fanning out your keys. I'll display them here on the screen. If you're interested in any of these products, especially their newest one, it's going to be coming out really soon with MagSafe technology, be able to connect it to your iPhone. Click the link in the description below. Use Fede10 at checkout. And big shout out to Phantom Wallet for sponsoring today's video. Let's get back to it. It's like this thing really wants to go in sport mode. Like it really wants to pick up a wheelie like nothing. So I'm kind of terrified. I want to really get used to this thing before I give you guys a full-on, you know, assessment and review of this guy. And I'm sure a lot of you guys have already seen videos on this, but let's get this thing in the truck and get back to the castle.
Oh, thank you. I assume it's supposed to be, yeah, so there's a bolt that goes on there.
So it's missing the bolt on the other
Or a nut,
side.
I mean, there's a nut.
Well, I'm sure Ben's got something that can go there. But
Yeah, you're gonna want that. And I'm gonna do a once over before anybody else rides these bikes because that's dangerous. The crank arm was coming off of this one.
They're all fixed up though?
No, I'm gonna do a once over. I wouldn't ride it until I go
Really?
over. Yeah.
Wow, okay.
Not even at all? Not even a little bit?
You might be able to ride this one, but see this?
Well, it's a good thing you're here. Yeah.
You see this loose?
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's
So-
missing a nut, so it's not held
Wait,
in
what?
properly. This
Yeah.
this one is missing a nut. Like this pin here,
Can you get it fixed right now?
this pin comes right out and it doesn't have the nut on the other side.
If you have the nut, I don't have a nut.
We gotta have the nut for it.
Should we break the other news to him?
Yes, you should. What?
We're
Yes,
gonna
you
take this
should.
tomorrow to Hyper's Ferries.
Yes, please.
The shipment center put a dent in one of them so that we could tell the difference
Oh,
between
yeah.
them.
Oh, this?
Yeah. Where's the rest of the stuff?
The
There's supposed to be
shipping
two
center put a
batteries.
dent in
Yeah.
it? The shipping...
Two batteries.
Who's the shipping center?
it said Hall, but
Which one of you is the shipping center?
The honest truth was we were putting it in the back
That's
of the bed while it was pouring rain,
Yeah.
and the bike slipped and landed on your fifth wheel thing.
Okay. Is the
Alright.
fifth wheel thing okay?
It's got turn signals on it?
Am I okay? I told everybody on the camera, I was like, I'm probably gonna lose my life when I show up here.
Oh, you're okay.
Going over the new Onyx bikes that he got, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about my gripes with this bike. It is a very fast bike. We're going to take it for a test drive and do all that fun stuff. But first we're going to talk about the build quality of these bikes and why I think they're not really up to par for a lot of other bike companies that are out there, especially for the price that you guys have to pay for these bikes. So let me show you what I'm doing right now to help pull this back wheel back, because that was one of the things that happened in the process of getting this bike to the property. There was no tension on the chain. It just kept on popping off. So let me show you what I used here to be able to get that wheel to be wedged back. So we're building a number of ramps here on the property, and we have a lot of different angled pieces like that. So I was able to wedge that angled piece into there, since we don't have a proper stand for this here, to be able to get that back wheel a little bit tighter and that chain a little bit tighter. So In the process, what I did is end up keeping the kickstand down, rolling the bike a little bit forward on that wedge piece there, and ended up pushing the wheel back and tensioning that chain nice and solid. And what I end up doing is I end up snugging each side before I ended up fastening it all the way down and then putting on the lock nuts on the end.
You figured out, is it good?
Yeah, so I pulled the wheels back on both of them, so the chains are good on both. The only thing we need to fix is that bolt. So maybe we go to Home Depot here shortly, pick up a nut.
Take the bikes.
Well, we're gonna go get a running shot real quick with the GoPro on my bike, so you can get it for your channel.
Oh, cool.
And I'm gonna rip this thing.
Cool. He ordered a small one.
You just ordered a small one?
I ordered 2 more. Yeah, I was thinking like if you.
I messaged them and I was like, yeah. Tim also wanted to know like if you had any like available now. He's like 60 days. Like his response was 60 days. I was like, okay. Like not like.
I ordered 2 more.
Not thanks for your purchase. Here, let me help you with the issues that you're having.
Yeah.
Here's the email to email.
Chain's fixed now though?
Chain is fixed, yes
Did you
sir.
order 2 small ones?
No.
Just 1 small one?
Standard in black and a small one.
Oh, the black looks good. I saw a video of that. Yo, did you get yours to 60? I got mine to 60 right before the gas station.
I noticed it was like capping at 59 though.
Dude, that was insane.
Yeah.
Woo!
Thinking about it, man, we're going 60. Why would we need to go any faster? Well, I guess the highway's 65, but I'm
He's finally coming out. Look at him. So that's my other bike, the Aero Rider, and that thing goes top speed 40. He might be hitting 40. Now he's probably is going down the hill. She is fast. I got 60. I got 60 going to the gas station. Coming back, I was like, I think I sat around like 56, 57.
Okay.
She's figuring.
I'm scared to go that fast.
It's insane. Some guy stopped and was like, hey man, what's top speed in that thing? I was like, 60. Hit it.
That's good.
Now as we zoom out, you see these bikes are identical in every single way, and he fully spec'd these things out. This is the RCR 72 volt, the STD indicators, the DRT kit, and the 41 amp hour battery, which gives you more range and more power output. Now that power output is key in the performance section. It comes in 3 different modes: Eco, Normal, and Sport. Now Eco mode is a 750 watt class 2 style e-bike feel. Normal mode is just more for like off-road, kind of chillin' casual speed. Now Sport mode, absolutely insane. This thing is fast. So much torque, it feels like I'm driving a Tesla. It has like Tesla style torque when it comes to getting right off the line. Now you can get the standard battery with the max range, about 70 miles. He ended up going with the 41 amp hour battery, which gives you 120 miles of range. Now I'm sure that is predicated and can change depending on if you're normal, eco, or sport mode, and it's really hard not to be in sport mode all the time in these bikes. And speaking of range, this drivetrain is actually throttle controlled, and you can regenerate a lot of that power back into the battery through the regenerative braking system that this bike comes with. Now moving on to the key features, in my opinion, of this bike is the construction of this bike. Now, I personally felt like this bike was constructed very well, but there were some mishaps with the small ends of the bike. Now the frame is a steel tube chassis and it is strong, very rigid and solid. The battery chassis is aluminum mahogany, and you can actually get this in a couple different variations, but he ended up going with the mahogany look that you see here. The front suspension is proprietary to Onyx and is forged aluminum. The rear suspension is a 350mm adjustable shocks. As you see here, these little teeth help you to be able to adjust that down or up depending on your body weight. The rear swing arm is a heavy duty steel and it is bolted to the front section of the bike, so you can actually pull that off if you need to be able to do any extra work internally, or swap out that back end if you end up having any issues with it bending or twisting. Now the seating on this bike is actually pretty comfortable. It's custom designed and form fitted to the bike. One thing I actually noticed is the actual fitment of this seat is much better compared to other Onyx bikes I've seen in the past, where there actually was way more of a gap and it was crooked between that mahogany and the seat. Now the seating position on this is pretty comfortable for the 30 miles that I rode. It's custom designed and form fitting to the bike. The headlight is actually a projector halo headlight. It also has daytime running lights, and the rear is an LED tail light, which is very bright. As we get to the braking and tire setup, now the braking and tire setup, like I said, changes depending on the configuration that you have, but the front brake system is a hydraulic 220mm rotor. Absolutely insane. I mean, you need something like this for the speed that you can get up on this bad boy. Now the rear brake system isn't necessarily as good as the front brake system. It's a cable and a hybrid hydraulic type of a style. It's a 205mm rotor, which is kind of standard for a lot of other e-bikes, but I really wish that this had the same type of hydraulic 220mm rotor that you have on the front on the rear. The wheels are definitely pretty solid, like a motorcycle wheel. These 17-inch 36-spoke wheels are definitely a good touch when it comes to a bike like this. You want something very rugged and that can actually take the elements you're putting it through. The tire specs on this are 2.75 by 17. 17 is the actual rim size, 2.75 is the width of the actual tire. Now the DRT kit is the one that Tim went with, and it comes with knobby tires, a headlight grille, fork dust covers, a rear rack, as well as a front fender and rear fender. I mean, this is definitely a sick look, cafe style / dirt bike style look. This thing just looks awesome. Now for those of you guys actually curious on what this spec actually cost per bike, it's about $6,000 before shipping, $59.93.48 to be exact. And if you're not really into electric bikes, this might not be for you, but if you are like an enthusiast who absolutely loves to be able to accessorize your bike and you plan on riding it on a daily basis as a substitute for a vehicle, this actually might be for you, and it could save you money in the long run. So, you ordered 2 more.
Yep. These are worth it.
Hella. Yeah. So you're gonna
we hopped on the highway. It was topped out of 55.
For you, yeah.
Yeah, were you able to hit higher?
I was about 50, 55. I mean, we're going uphill the majority of that.
Right. And then you're coming downhill, it's the exit. That's why it's just like one exit, so it's easier. If we went from where we were in Brunswick, we would have been on the highway for a little bit longer.
I topped it at 60 though, going this way to the gas station.
If you're going downhill, you can probably go faster.
So we ordered up 2 more, one of them being a shorty, and I think the other one's just like the black edition. Instead of it being like a stainless steel right there, it's all black. So those should be in here maybe like 60 days or so. My initial thoughts on this is thing is a badass machine. If you guys are familiar with electric bikes, and I think you should try one out. If you're new to electric bikes in general, you don't want this to be your first bike. Not at all. By no means you want this to be your first bike, because this thing is a powerful, powerful beast. So you want to ease your way into it. Now, as far as speccing out electric bikes, the Onyx is probably the best for that, because they have so many different options, and this is more of a cafe style motorcycle type of an e-bike. So this thing can look really good with like saddlebags, which he plans on attaching to his bike eventually, as well as other accessories. So if you guys have an Onyx, put a comment below with some other accessories that you would recommend, probably see on this bike here in the near future. All right, so that's my brief initial rundown of the Onyx, and it's pretty much a beast, man. I'm used to riding this Aero Rider Grizzly, and I always thought that that was pretty powerful as an electric bike, but that is a whole different animal when it comes to an electric bike. It's more of an electric motorcycle. I mean, you see those tires, you see the accessories, you see how specced out this thing is. It is night and day, especially price-wise, difference of like an Aero Rider or the Duro or a Super 73 or any other electric bike for that matter. So if you guys are in the realm and you can afford something like this, then I highly suggest it. I would also suggest you stay very close in contact with Onyx when it comes to the build process. You want to make sure this is properly built. So You know, I didn't buy these, Tim bought these, so I can be the one to criticize the build process, and I just wasn't too stoked with how the crank arm fell off upon picking it up, as well as the chain was popping off. Everything just felt like it wasn't properly done. You know, unlike the Aero Rider, I just basically built this thing up real quick right out of the box. I was able to pop the handlebars on, front wheel on, and go ripping. So, like I said, 2 different animals, 2 different price brackets, and this thing is definitely a beast. So with that being said, if you guys have any suggestions for other accessories you want to see on this thing, be on the lookout for more Onyx here at the Cast Castle. Especially check out their channel right now. I'll link the newest video featuring these bad boys below in the description. So with that being said, if you guys have any other suggestions for future videos on my channel, drop a comment below. If you guys like this video, drop a like. If you love it, hit the subscribe button, and I'll catch you in the next one.